Hi, I'm GL Franklyn and I wrote Searching for St Germaine. But today I'm reviewing For the Sake of God by Alfred Baul Jr. Now, full disclosure, I know Al. He's a personal friend of many years. I was pretty excited to read this book and I was not disappointed. His writing voice is clear and easy to follow, and he has a beautiful command of dialogue, which powers the trajectory of this story. In fact, this story would make a great thought provoking play or movie. The characters he created are comfortingly familiar. Some are even named after real people that Al and I both know in common. The story is set in Chicago of the late 60s during the Viet Nam War, and Ball sprinkles details that indicate what those times were really like. The main character, Matthew, is a recently returned vet who seems pretty negative about God, religion, and the Bible. He comes off as almost atheist at first, but as the story unfolds, we see a softening in him. What emerges is a more thoughtful and analytical character with good leadership and problem-solving skills. Now, once Al gets into the meat of the story suggested by the title, things get really exciting. The hostage situation in the book becomes a backdrop for some interesting and thought-provoking conversations about the different strains of Christianity and what the stories in the Bible actually point to. Matthew is a little miffed about how myopic his religious training was growing up. He tells us about his awakening in the military, about other religions, and how the Bible is often misunderstood. He posits that the Bible story is actually very political and cites examples that helped me understand why he feels that way. Matthew laments that churches and religions could be a bit more proactive in the life of the communities that they serve. My friend Alfred Baul Jr. is a very good storyteller with a clear grasp of what he wants to say. I expect this story will ignite some pretty interesting conversations among Christians about that religion and about the concept of faith in general. I feel that those conversations probably should be had and will certainly bear some worthwhile fruit. I loved reading this book. And not just because I know the author. It's objectively a good and engaging and thought-provoking story. If I had any complaint about this book, I would suggest that Al fire his editor. Little errors like a misplaced or misspelled word here and there and some scattered weird punctuation that I didn't understand, but they don't really distract from the story. But they also don't do his otherwise engaging writing any favors either. I highly recommend this book for anyone who really thinks about God and or religion, and anyone who enjoys a clear, easy to follow story that says something truly worth reading about. I give it 5 stars despite the editing.